All right, so Jen's delicious lentil soup she made. We had a bunch of leftovers, so we're going to put it in the freeze dryer instead of just saving the leftovers. And since the leftovers only filled up 2 trays, I mean, it's not really worth throwing the freeze dryer on if you're not going to put all 4 in. So Jen has some leftover rice that we're going to put on there and try to freeze dry it. Yeah, for lunch. All right. All right, they're in. We'll show y'all what comes from it. Okay, stay tuned for the lentil soup stuff. It is about done in the freeze dryer. However, now it is seed starting time.
Yep.
It's crazy to think it's January, but for your cool crops, or what do they call it? Cold crops. It's time. It is just time to get these bad boys
We're not
going.
talking about tomatoes and peppers and flowers. We're talking about cauliflowers, broccoli, some greens, some turnips, maybe stuff like that. Beans,
Cabbages.
Yeah. Stuff that you saw us do last year, we put in our greenhouse, and then they came up quickly after that, and we were able to eat them and enjoy them before summer came, when it was too hot.
I think did we harvest like April or early May? Something like that.
Early.
It's pretty cool. That's one good thing about the greenhouse. Being able to throw that up and having that bed in there allows us to get a little kickstart for it. But even if you don't have a greenhouse, it is time to start your cold crops.
Yeah.
If you're going to even plant them outside. Reminder, they are frost hardy, but you do need to get them germinated, and that usually needs at least 60-ish degrees soil temp. So you probably want to get them started inside. Every year, we get a shelf, and so it's going to be our seed starting shelf. And every year, it ends up getting consumed by canned goods, which is a good problem. That means that we keep expanding. You know, it's holding what we're starting, just in a different form. So we bought another shelf. We got to put it together and get our seed starting station all set up once again. So this is what we got. It's actually smaller than the ones that we have downstairs that we normally get. We normally get the ones from Lowe's, but we don't have Lowe's now. So this is from Walmart, and it is a 5-shelf metal storage rack, which is the same amount of shelves. It's just not as wide. But these have always done us well, and we like these because you can hook your grow lights to it really easy. That's something that you got to remember. Most of them have some kind of clip, so you want to be able to clip it to it, and having that wire rack really helps us out to be able to do that.
Yeah, and they're very sturdy.
They are really
And they're
sturdy.
like $50 or $60, but they're really sturdy.
They hold all of her canned goods like completely packed full, so that's pretty nice. All right, I gotta put this thing together. There she is. Thanks, babe, for the help.
No problem.
All right, tell them what we got going on here, babe.
Got it. We got our light up. These are from Hoss Tools. We got them last year, and we really, really loved them.
They're retractable, so you can go up and down with them.
Yep, and they clip perfectly onto these kind of shelves. We've got 2 little heat mats under the tray. We got some really big ones last year, but...
It's a confession time.
Yes.
So Hoss has these awesome, huge heating mats that fit like perfectly on these, and they have like to where you can actually pick the temperature that you want the heating mat to go to. It's even got a thermometer that you can put in the soil, so it actually can judge it on how far it wants to go. Well, one of our hopeful projects for 2022 is to get a new garage / barn, and take down this white stone thing that we got going on. Well, it leaks really, really bad. And I'm aware that it leaks really, really bad. So I thought I put all of our garden stuff in a safe space. Well, I did not. And all this stuff was in like a foot of water. And so I've got it all sitting on a piece of plywood drying out. So, I mean, maybe it'll work again. But since the last year at this time, they've been in there. And that's not good. So, yeah, that's confession time.
But we were able to salvage 1 light
That's
and 2 small heat mats, which is all we need right now.
Right.
Because we're just doing cold crops.
right.
And we also have our 2-cell seed tray. Zach filled it up, but I'm not sure that we're going to use that for the cold crops. We're going to see.
Yeah,
it's just too many. Like, we don't need that many cold crops, so I don't know.
But I'll tell you one thing, even if you don't use the 162 cell seed tray, the bottom trays are so sturdy, and they hold so many cups or whatever you may be up potting, and allows you to bottom water, and those are amazing as well. But there she is.
Yay!
It doesn't look like much with just the 1 light, but I promise it'll eventually get completely full. And we got our little house plants beside it, our pineapple plant and then our mother-in-law plant.
Okay, it is now dinner time, and we are on day 11 of the Pantry Challenge. We had more overnight oats this morning. That was really good. For lunch, what do we have? Oh, we had some leftover frozen chicken that we had in the freezer that needed to be ate up. Some leftover pizza rolls that needed to be ate up. So lunch was not healthy by any means, but
Cleared up freezer space.
we had to clear up freezer space. And those things needed to go. Had to go. So for dinner, I really wanted some chicken enchiladas. So we had to get real creative to figure that out. We did have some leftover tortillas in the fridge that needed to be used, so that's going to be good for that. I found this in the back of the fridge, and when you're on day 11 of a Pantry Challenge, that is like finding gold. I'm really excited about it. We have a little bit of sour cream left that we're going to use. I had a can of enchilada sauce. I don't even know how long I've had it, but it's still good. And chicken, of course. We've got plenty of meat. Meat is not the problem. And this is the last of our shredded cheese. Well, it wasn't even shredded. We shredded it. Yeah, but it's the last of the cheese. I do have one more block of cheese left in our fridge, which I'm thinking I might show you all the fridge since we're on day 11, and it's interesting. I don't even know what it's called. It's like cheddar Gruyere. It's with summer sausage. I bought it when I wanted to do a cheese board. Oh, I just found goat cheese. So I bought these when I wanted to do a cheese board, like I think Halloween. It's cheese, so it's still good. But yeah, we're running out of cheese. That's okay though. We're making the best of it, and we don't even have to have cheese, but we do have a little bit left over, so we're gonna use it. And I think it's gonna be really good. And it was last minute decision, so we just threw the chicken in the skillets. Obviously it would be better shredded, but that's all right. It is what it is. So why not? Let's just see the fridge. It's basically sauces. It's what's left. We've got our pickled peppers, our fermented hot sauce. There's a jar of canned pickles back there. There's like 4 bottles of barbecue sauce. I don't know why we just continue to buy barbecue sauce. Pickled fermented veggies. This is a salad dressing that I made that we're still using up. We're actually gonna have salad with our enchiladas. This is our last bottle of ketchup. The kids are not gonna be happy about that. There's hot sauce, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice. I think there's a bottle of ranch and a red wine vinegar that I've been using for everything, and there's like a 1/4 a cup of half and half left. But I haven't been drinking coffee, so I haven't been using it. Quail eggs, cowboy candy. Oh, there's a jar of sour cream. Hopefully it's still good. There's a mayonnaise in the back. These are Wyatt's favorite pickles. I think there's 1 left in there. Raylan's got a full jar of her dill pickles, so that's good. 2 jars of sauerkraut. I don't know why we have so much sauerkraut. This has 1 block of Philadelphia cream cheese, 2 butters. This is my goat cheese, that random cheese, and then some cranberries that I got from Azure Standard. We've been eating those on our salads. They're really good. Minced garlic, 2 things of flour, 1's bread, 1 is, oh, actually 1's bread flour and 1's cornmeal. That's a little bit of milk that we have left that we made from powdered milk. Raylan's grapes, which are not doing fantastic, so they're probably on their way out. These are salmon leftovers because we had salmon bowls for lunch yesterday. These are those ham shanks that I'm using if we need to substitute for bacon. Here's a, somebody gave it to me. I think it's a pear butter, I can't remember. Another jam down there, a pumpkin spread, 5 apples, random chocolate fudge, a green olive and a Kalamata olive, Raylan's last Lunchable, last of carrots, last of celery, and here we've got some ham, 3 things of ham. The kids eat a lot of ham sandwiches, some random beef sticks, I don't even know if they're good, 2 things of hot dogs, 2 hot dogs left in there, another ham, and this is just our meat drawer. We bring in meat from our freezers and we thaw it out for the week, so like 3 or 4 meats is what we do. And then all the doors are sauces. All of those are sauces, so at least we have sauce.
We're a sauce family, at least.
If all else fails, we'll just make rice and noodles and beans and put a random sauce on them.
A different sauce on that.
No, I'm just kidding. Like I said, it's day 11, but it's going really well. This isn't an official update. We'll give an update later, probably at the end of the video, but it's been going really well. I don't think any of us are mad or frustrated at this point. We're all hanging in there, even the kids. Now, they ran out of a lot of their favorites today, so the days moving forward might get a little bit stressful, but overall, it's okay.
All right, for some makeshift enchiladas, they don't look terrible. Heading in the oven. All right, so the proofs. By the way, can somebody tell Jen to give me a haircut? Look at that, I can't anymore. It is, y'all just gonna get used to this cow leg that's just shooting up. All right, because the proofs and the pudding, we promised the kids have been doing it. I've been trying to, if we don't talk about it, I've at least shown you all what we've been eating through this. And so this is the kids' meal. It's basically the same as ours. They have an enchilada chicken. They got a few tortilla chips as a little treat.
It's Mexican night.
That's right. They got some salad greens, which they don't like any sauce on it.
No, they're just plain
Just
greens.
plain old greens. And then
Look, that's what Wyatt's eating.
Yep. That's his favorite. Out of everything on here, he's picking the salad first. He's like our little rabbit.
Yep.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing.
And then this is dessert. Obviously, that's not what they usually get, but it's dessert.
Yeah. It's just, we got snacks and we're just going through kind of thing. And back to the seed starting area. We did do a little change out. We also got these. They're also from Hoss Tools. They're 24 cell seed trays and they're much bigger, so they can last a lot longer in there. So we have 2 of those. That's 48 plants. That's probably plenty for our co-crops. We don't do a ginormous co-crop harvest as it is. We just like to have them for just personal use, not for selling. So we'll save the 162 for when it's time to get going, which we have several of those. But yes, Hoss has all kinds of options and sizes for you, and these are just as durable. It's pretty fantastic. All right, welcome to the next day. So I have actually gotten all the heat mats and everything and the lights, the extra ones that we had that were just engulfed in water. I've gotten them out and they still work, surprisingly. We'll see for how long, but they are dried out and they all came on. So that's some pretty good news, exciting stuff. So today we are going to actually get this stuff planted and get it started because time's of the essence. Okay, so here's what's getting planted. I wanted to give you a breakdown from them and just kind of give you an understanding of why we're planting this stuff. So right here are 3 different types of kales: Red Russian, Blue Ridge, and how do you say it? Lacinato? Lacinato. This one's actually really cool. We grew this one last year. We like it. It's a longer, slender kale than the big bushy of these 2. So we like having a little bit of variety. These will most likely go in our raised bed in the greenhouse. Over here we have a couple cabbages that we like. This one's a large purple cabbage, and these are a little bit smaller cabbages. And if you're in an area that's kind of like 6B, which is us, you don't. It's just kind of hard to grow cold crops, and so taking things to full large size heads can be difficult. But if you can find a quicker variety that's maybe a little bit smaller or smaller heads, you'll have a little bit more success. So these are called early round Dutch cabbages, if you were interested. One of the most difficult things that you will ever try to grow, right here, cauliflower. If you can get cauliflower down, you can grow about anything, I promise. They're temperamental. They like to just shoot up and not stay in their head, or you never get the head at all. Last year was our first successful year growing cauliflower, and we did it in our greenhouse. We got them started just about this time and got them in the ground pretty quickly. They are frost tolerant, however, they need some good heat to grow. So this one's 80 days to maturity, this one's 55, and this one's 75. If that doesn't explain how complicated cauliflower is, there you go. This is a wild variety of time frames. But we are going to do it again. Hopefully we have another successful year with these. This one's flame starred, this one's graffiti, and this one's twisted. That purple is really cool to make some pickled veggies, by the way. Over here we have some broccoli. This one's a little bit smaller head. It's Arcadia broccoli, and this is Godzilla broccoli that gives you a little bit bigger head of broccoli. Over here, these will be direct sowed in the green stock in our greenhouse. So this one is Scarlet Nantes. Y'all look at them. I have the worst time trying to pronounce the names of the fruit. Got a little yellow in here. We really just like to have orange. Every once in a while, we'll throw a little variety. We do not like the purple carrots, by the way. And lastly, a little bit more of lettuce and spinach that we have. What we have growing out in our little low tunnels are doing great. However, succession planting, right? We would like to go this until we get warm, so we're going to grow a little bit more of that. Also not pictured will be some beets that we will direct sow. Also probably some radishes. They're very quick. That's a very easy one to grow if you're looking to try to just get something in the ground. Those will be direct sowed in our low tunnels in the kitchen garden. But it is time to get these planted. All right, we've got them all on their heating pads and planted, and then we give them a nice little watering. We put the soil in wet. It's easier to do that so you can stay at the top consistency. If you put it in dry, then try to water it down, that your soil is usually so dry that it sinks it so much. So just make sure your soil's wet, and then we just added water underneath of each one of those so we can do a little bottom watering for those. And now our light is too high. One thing about it is when you're germinating, that's not too big of a concern. You just want to keep your soil for these around 60 to 65 degrees for cold crops. And then that'll get them to sprout. Once they're sprouted, we'll need to take this down just about 2 inches above the plant so they don't get leggy. That's one of your biggest issues is if your light's too far away, that plant's going to stretch for it, and that's how you get leggy. It's also a good idea to have some kind of fan on it. So we'll probably get a little clip fan to put onto the side of it to just kind of blow it, you know, real easy, but that gives you stronger stalks. If you don't have a fan and your light's too high, you're going to have a long leggy. As soon as you take it out, it's going to boop, drop over and be no longer with us. All right, babe, and then we got a Christmas present from our awesome friends of Melissa and Tyler. What did they send us?
It is the ginger shampoo plant. So I don't know if you've seen it. It's all over Facebook and social media. But it's this lady, and she goes out and I think she lives in Hawaii, and she shows her plant, and she gets the shampoo off the beautiful bloom thing that it has, pod, whatever you want to call it. It looks like a pine cone, but it's like pink or purple, and it's just like oozing with smell good stuff. It's a lot like awapui shampoo. If you've ever had that, it smells a lot like it. But we got a root of it, so it's dormant right now. We're gonna keep it dormant. We're just gonna put it in this pot, but we might put a light on it just to see if it being warm-ish, you know, room temperature in the house, and then having a light, if it might sprout. If not, we'll just do it in the spring, but it could be a little experiment.
And so this will be a test because it is part of the ginger family, which ginger can be grown here, but as most of you all know, we're more worried about the root rather than what comes on the top, right? We want to harvest that ginger root. Well, this is, we need the top, we need the flowering to happen. And I think it's more knownly grown in tropical, very long growing season areas. So here in 6B, we'll see. We don't know. Yeah. But it's a little bit more important for us to try to get that kickstart.
I've seen banana trees down the road.
Yeah, banana trees. And our friend Tyler, he grows little mini bananas as well. And they're in Maryland. I couldn't get it out of there. So yeah, you know, you can definitely grow stuff that's not made for your zone. You just might have to test it out a little bit. So let's get this thing planted in here. Okay, so it actually looks just like a ginger root, as you can kind of tell there. And you can tell this is where it was cut, so that's the root down. So we want to go down like this because that's where the roots will come out from once it actually comes out of its dormant stage. And Jen's going to kill me because I just kicked dirt out. All right, get down in there. And then I'm going to take the rest of this and just pour on top. All right, so it's down here on the bottom. I'm letting them dry out a little bit more, but we might put one of those smaller ones. These are little small lights. They work really well. They have like two different settings of colors and stuff, and you can change that on if you want germination or whatever. Point being, one of these smaller ones we might take down here and put on there, but for now she's just sitting in her dormant stage.
And these both came from Amazon.
Yes, they both came from Amazon. Everything else that you see came from Haas, so I'll link those things down below. Okay, so this video was jam-packed with a lot of stuff, a lot of information in it. Pantry tour is going really well. We are starting to hit that challenge, my bad. We're really starting to hit that time frame though in January where the luxuries are going away.
Yeah.
And it's time to really start getting creative, which she has all
the luxuries as in fresh fruits and vegetables.
Right. So now it's really like not just 90% of the meals are coming from the pantry, but it's going to be 100% here in the very near future. But it's been a lot of fun. We love it. I think if we keep this going, we're going to try to drag it on into February.
I think so. Might as well.
And really see some of the things that have been benefiting, obviously saving money. We have saved a lot of money not going to the grocery store, I'm sure.
Or eating out.
Because, we've added that into it. Losing a couple pounds. That's pretty exciting because we're not eating junk. We're eating all homegrown stuff. And creativity. Creativity is
a lot. And honestly, we haven't really even made a dent into our storage at all. So I'm thinking we could drag this on probably for a year if we really wanted to.
Yeah, we really could.
We're not going to, but
we're gonna run out of ketchup soon. We need to try to make our own ketchup and see how that goes.
It takes a lot of tomatoes, and I'm not willing to commit all of our tomatoes to ketchup. Right. I don't even like ketchup. Me
and the kids though, we like some ketchup. But we know there's all kinds of alternatives out there, so we'll get creative and we'll figure things out. But what a great way to segue into starting seeds, right? So this is the whole purpose of what we're doing. It all starts with what Jen and I just did. Planting that seed in some dirt so your pantry can be full and abundant of all kinds of food. Hopefully you're getting ready for gardening season. It's starting to get closer, even if it's hard to believe because it's January. But a lot of people, I think cold crops is the biggest question on when do I start it? Right now. Start now. All right, y'all, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to down below.
We love you.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.